Alright, I showed you this from here over in the last video. And this is it, pretty much completely finished. Actually sits like this. But this is basically it's an alternative to a panda router or a copy router. It sits on the spindle. I'll put it on in a minute. There's a probe that sits in this end, and it allows you to copy a shape. You might notice here that it's got some JB Weld on it. That's what that is. I'll show you some pictures right now. The first one is looking at the top, and right about here, a crack formed when I tried to pry this open to sand it to give it a little bit extra clearance. Yeah, I know it looks like it was done with a pair of dentures, but and the reason a crack formed, actually before that I'll show you the second picture which shows you the actual crack running down. And the reason the crack formed, let me see if I can actually get this to focus on this piece. Probably not. Was because, like I said, I pried this open to sand it a little bit more. And there's not a lot of meat back here. You can see in the pictures very, very readily. But what I got is this piece here. I machined a round on the end of it, and then it was friction fit in here. And then I did, yeah, you can't even see it anymore, but in the pictures you can see I put a pin. Now I offset that pin. I didn't want to go straight through this because I expected that it would crack. So I offset the pin to the side, and instead of this pin cracking, the whole unit here cracked. It only cracked halfway through, so not a big deal. And it's not going to be flexing nearly as much as I flexed it to open this end up. So that's why the JB Weld. I'm not going to bother cleaning it up or anything. I might take a bit of sandpaper to it or something. But let's get this guy set up. I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can get a decent picture of it here on my brand new camera mount. And that will be actually next week's project. Alright, so there you go. I do apologize for this shield. It's actually hardwired into the unit. If I leave it open, the machine won't run. I'm going to try to get a better angle when I actually do go to run the machine. But I already have the thing I want to copy. Actually, I want to spin that just a little bit. That'll be good right there. I want to get it close to straight as possible. Like close to, you can't see. I want to get this close to as straight with the table as possible. Alright, so now this goes up here. It is a little bit of a tight fit, which is good. And I'm just going to leave it on there. I'm not going to tighten it up quite yet. I've got this probe. Get it in the camera. I just took and sanded down this end to make it nice and easy to fit in there. Bent it 90. I took this, just sanded it just a little bit, sanded the face to make it almost perfectly square. And you can't even see the end of this, can you? Oh yeah, you got it. Okay. That goes in there. This can be tightened. This is what we're going to be copying to. Just a little piece of foam. I use it all the time when I'm doing my casting. I don't know if my clamps will actually go that high though. I might have to knock a corner off or something. Yeah, it won't go that high. So I'll be back in 1 second after I've cut a little bit of a relief corner there. Alright, got a little bit of corner cut out. Doesn't have to be anything pretty. That sits up there. And it goes on my little parallel here to give it some space. Now, this is not how normally I would set this up. This is just for a demonstration. Normally I'd have a couple clamps on here. For this case right here, I don't need to make these two level. I just need to make sure that this block is bigger than this, and that this is lower than this one. This probe is lower than the bit. If I wanted to be real precise, I would bring it down to the table. I could move this up or down. I could move the tool up or down. There's about 3/4 of an inch, maybe even as much as an inch I can play with to get this to fit just right. But like I said, this block is bigger in all dimensions than this is, and all I'm doing is basically copying the surface, so it doesn't need to be very precise. Alright, if I can get my wrench on here. There you go, there's the original, there's the copy. Notice a little bump here, it's because of the clamp that was sitting right here. Pretty close. At least the details on the top are. I know the round is really ragged. Now what I would do now with this is I would take and probably cut this off. I could cast this if I wanted an exact replica. Just put it in the put it upside down in my rotary table, make it round, turn it over, do the same thing on this side, and just do the details on the top. Just a quick show and tell here. Show you a couple of the other things that I've made. This is, I should put this up here. This is the first larger project that I've made on this mill, but I had a need for some extra T-blocks, so I made these guys. They were just a quick cast machine. I made 3 of them. That was the bar, and I have some more of the stock that I cast them out of here that I could make a couple more if I need them. But they're just basically a copy of these steel ones. They're made out of aluminum. I like machining aluminum. Also, I've got 4 of these little spacer blocks. I just had some squares of aluminum lying around, so I like cast aluminum. So I machined them all. They're all within about 5 thou of each other. So I mean, they're not precision. They're just for like putting underneath the clamp down things, wherever that piece went. This one here. They're just for putting underneath stuff like this to raise it up or whatever. But you can see they're within, say, 5 thou of 700. Oh, that's the same side. That one's exactly on. That one's about 3. So for a little machine, it's very precise. I think that's about it for today. If you have any questions about how this is made or put together, I can give you a more detailed video of it. But I think that covers pretty much everything. And next week, we have this guy, which is a stand, but it's also a tripod mount, because I've wanted a tripod mount for this camera for quite a while.